Hey, you know what they say? Before Newton, everyone thought the world was round.
Yes.
Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast. I am Spencer Cartier.
I am A number one.
A number one co-host, and this is Frank. Looking like, you know what he looks like? And
He doesn't look springy.
he doesn't. Or he could be. We're coming right in this beginning of spring.
It's a very Thanksgiving outfit.
Yeah, but it looks like it's like fishing season.
It looks like I have George Washington here.
Well, speaking of,
Doesn't it?
what are you wearing? You're wearing 10 hats. Ever since Lent began, some people give things up. Some people say, I'm going to do something. And you said, I'm going to add a hat to my head every podcast in Lent.
Yes.
Not realizing how many podcasts are in Lent.
Yes. I didn't.
So now you have 10 hats on.
I have 10 hats on. In here are those holographic party hats that if you go to the Friday podcast, you'll see them.
Okay.
I'm not going to undo it again.
Probably not.
So that's 8, white is 9, and brown is 10.
Looking good. So your name, A number one. What is this?
A number one. Who's A number one? A number one. He was a hobo, a tramp,
I don't think we use any of those words anymore.
Yeah, there's words. It's hobo, tramp, or bum. But Leon Ray Livingston was the original A number one. I think dash N-O. You ever see number written as N-O period? Yeah. And one. But there were, so I'm not him, because he's dead. Because also he's a person who has relatives, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But there were imitators. So he actually wrote books of hoboing around the United States from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I believe he's buried in Pennsylvania. Famous hobo at the time. It's okay to call him that. Because
he claims it.
Yeah. I don't know if we can call new people hobos, but if you were a hobo, there's famous hobos.
Okay.
He was a very famous hobo, Leon Ray Livingston. And I think he met presidents and he got paid for his books and stuff. Yeah, but he had imitators and imitators would...
they would physically imitate him, or they were just wanted to also travel?
They wanted to also travel. You know, when people do that now kind of days, but there was no YouTube, so I guess he wrote books.
Okay.
So a hobo is someone who travels, sort of like a traveling laborer.
Okay.
Going
a travel nurse?
Yeah. Not exactly, but so go from place to place working to and you pick up money, and not just enough money that you need. A tramp is a vagrant who doesn't work and is more, and these are the terms I'm sure people will say. I don't subscribe to that term.
Yeah.
Vagrant. A tramp is a vagrant. He travels, but he doesn't really work. I think he relies on the kindness of strangers.
Okay.
And then a bum.
Panhandling.
And what?
Panhandling for a vagrant?
Yeah, well, that's what I meant by relies on. I mean, okay. You'd have to.
I don't know if you meant how a monk does.
Oh, no. They're panhandlers too. And a bum is a more rude term, and it's connotating that you might be doesn't work, doesn't travel, doesn't do anything. They're considered shiftless and alcoholic. It's an American term that came during the Civil War, probably taken from the German slang word bummler, meaning loafer.
Oh.
But he wasn't a bum. He was a hobo. And
I'm not a bum. I'm a hobo. Get it right.
I don't know if he invented it, but I guess he documented it, and it was the hobo
Chronicles.
No, the graffiti and I've heard this lots of times. He would leave markings this woman will give you food. On her fence post, there's a vicious dog that lives here.
Yeah.
And it was kind of they were talking to each other.
Oh.
So you go through
code.
Yeah, hobo code. So you go through, you learn stuff, and then you leave it. So let me know. I'm coming behind.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Who knew? Maybe I'll read one of his books.
Yeah.
But it's March 23rd.
Okay.
23 is my favorite number.
I know.
There's always something about every day that I like.
That's good.
Today, it's number 23. Some special things going on today.
What?
It's National Puppy Day. You like puppies?
Do I like puppies? I just feel like that's a loaded question.
I think that's the furthest thing from a loaded question.
Well, because everyone loves puppies. It's frowned upon to not like puppies.
Sounds like you don't like puppies.
Well, I'm just a pain in the ass when people ask me questions because I really think about it. And it's like they're big biters. And I know
they have little teeth.
That's what everyone. I was just going to say. Everyone says, but they have little teeth. They have very sharp little teeth.
Yeah, but it's cute.
Again, I feel you're setting me up to be a miserable.
Say it. Yeah, say it. You hate happiness.
I don't hate
You
them.
hate puppies. You hate just little everything.
Come on, every baby animal's cute, basically.
You know that's not. How do I put this? It's not genetically. Baby things are cute. We are designed to find them cute.
Really?
Because it makes us like in our genetics, we are programmed to think very small, freshly made things are cute, so that we take care of them.
I believe it.
Because imagine if you thought small things were hideous.
Yeah,
you'd be like, ew, get it away from me. But it's like we have it in our brains.
I believe that because
so if ever you find a baby cute. Just know it's not you. It's just your animal instincts.
Yeah. It's really like this scary little like alien.
Yeah. So don't let your don't let your biology fool you into thinking kids are cute.
Should be a shirt. Don't let your biology fool you.
Don't let your biology fool you.
Oh, I have something in my pocket. I forgot to give it to you even though I looked for it. So, I'm home from the hospital. I wasn't in the hospital. I was visiting.
He's home for the holidays.
I know, but the person I was visiting, they finally got out. 2 weeks. 2 weeks later.
That's too long. That's too long for anyone to spend anywhere.
It's too long. Well, 2 week vacation wouldn't be bad. But but thank you, Hashem, that the person is okay.
Thank you, Hashem.
So I was the A1A, and he was alive from 1872 to 1944, and he was walking around. America. I guess jumping on trains and
doing whatever hobo
jumping
does.
off. And I bet he might have had one of these at some point.
What are we looking at here?
So I got it for you.
Ooh.
And the reason I brought up the hospital, I got it in the hospital gift shop.
We got butterscotch since 1890. I've never seen this kind of butterscotch.
That's why I got it for you.
Reeds, individually wrapped. I'm not going to eat one on camera,
right.
But I'm going to look at it because, traditionally, you know how the butterscotch looks. It's in the yellow casing.
Yeah. So
in a bag.
He must. I mean, the dates are lining up that he had to come across it.
Hobo Rolo.
Oh, it's individually wrapped.
Individually wrapped.
I wonder if that's an original design.
I don't know. Do they have plastic back then?
Oh yeah. Well, but it might have been paper.
It looks okay. So
little wax paper.
From the site, it looks lighter in color.
Yeah, it does.
But it's maybe nowadays it's all caramel color and stuff. It's probably just like, and it's pressed, I believe.
Okay.
Is it just? Oh, no, it's not, but it's very rough.
Oh, okay. I thought you're going to put it back in the paper. Okay, so what's the... All natural. All natural.
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah. It tastes less processed. I mean, obviously it's candy, it's processed, but
yeah,
like it tastes like almost like more like raw honey than butters. I mean, it has the authentic butterscotch taste, right. But I like it. I will probably eat them all while editing. So you're in for a goodly edited podcast.
You're not on TikTok because I'm wearing...
I gave it up for Lent.
I'm wearing hats, but you gave up TikTok.
I did.
Or this is just going back to we're programmed to care for babies. On TikTok, they have play this sound for your dog, and it's a puppy in distress.
Oh.
And it not distress. He's probably just crying, But
and why would you want to do that?
To see if you have a nice dog that goes to
help him out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we have Banjo and Apple. Apple could care less, and Banjo was very
concerned,
alert, kept turning his head.
I could see that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But, it's National Puppy Day. It's other days.
Okay.
National Chip and Dip Day.
Chip and dip?
Chip and dip.
That seems like a Super Bowl thing.
Yeah. I don't know. You like chips and dip?
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I really had chips and dip.
Well, because I'm gluten-free, I can't.
Would chips and salsa be considered chips and dip, or does it need to be like a ranch dip? Because that's chips and dip.
Dip, though. I don't know if dip is salsa.
I don't know. I'm just saying. The only reason I asked because I'm like, I can never. I remember the last time I dipped a chip. Even when I have the dippable spread, I'm more of a veggie dip guy. I'll put I'll put a baby carrot in like a ranch dip before I put a Tostitos cracker.
I haven't chipped or dipped either in a long time, but I actually liked hard pretzels in the dip over chips. But it's not pretzel chip. It's not pretzel dip day. It's not pretzel dip day. So
and one more day I'll talk about. It's National Atheist Day.
Yay!
Dun dun dun. It's a Christian podcast.
Everyone needs.
Be wary of your words.
Everyone needs a day.
Everyone needs a day. Now, atheists are different than agnostics.
Okay.
Atheist is the belief that there's no higher power, while agnostic is the belief that, or no, it's just the, I don't know. There could be something, there could not be. Atheist is a belief. I believe there's nothing.
Well, I'm not afraid of atheists or agnostics.
Good.
Because, if someone does not believe that there's a higher power, there still is.
Yeah.
So it's not hurting me.
Yeah.
Or them. Actually, or them. They're not being hurt. It's what they're engaging in at the moment.
Hey, you know what they say? Before Newton, everyone thought the world was round.
Yes.
Everyone thought the world. You know what I mean?
This is the Flat Earther YouTube channel.
Yeah, we are flat earthers, and we believe that we were created 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's all the holidays I have.
Okay.
Good job for the atheists. It's your day. Go celebrate, and then maybe
make a Lenten resolution to not be one.
You know how you celebrate an atheist day? Become believing in a higher power. No, I'm just kidding. Live your life. As long as you love and you're good to others, you have Jesus in your heart.
I was being Rihanna. Live your life.
Hey.
Live your life. Isn't that the beginning of it?
Yeah. Why not?
I'm getting that paper.
Today is Wednesday, guys. The first podcast of the week. Not on a Monday. It's on a Wednesday, and we do something very special. Last week, we did a live because we kind of had technical difficulties, a.k.a. the devil. Today, we don't. Today, it's recorded. We can fact-check ourselves. We can cut out all of the times we say the word and we can just make it fun.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, we do something called One Word Wednesday. One Word Wednesday. One Word Wednesday. What do we do on One Word Wednesday? We pick a word, just a word, a word that gets us engaged. We're like, what does this word mean? Yeah. What are the physical applications of this word? What are the spiritual applications of this word? Although it's Atheist Day, we do believe in a higher power that created everything. Yeah. Therefore, everything was touched or inspired or in the realm of if it were a one big canvas. Yeah. And God is the artist. Yeah. Everything came from his brush strokes. Yeah. So we're just picking a little dot, a little part of that painting. Pixel. A little pixel. You don't paint pixels, but I hear what you're saying. I'm
Gen Z.
And
so I don't even know what paint means.
And we're going to talk about it.
Remember paint? What was that?
Oh, Microsoft Paint?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be before, I don't want to say before internet because I feel like I've never been around before internet, but definitely before all of the fun things to do on the internet, you would just go on. The two things were the one pinball game and Microsoft Paint and just have yourself a day. Try putting that like after all these kids have tablets.
Oh my gosh.
Just give them Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
And just watch them.
Power down.
All right. So what's the word?
Home.
Is where the heart is.
It is.
Home. Won't you take me home? Home is whenever I'm with you. Home. Yes, I am home. Home is whenever I'm with you. That's by what was it? Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros?
Okay.
Why not? Let's just say it is.
Edward Sharpe. Is he related to Edward Scissorhands?
I don't think first name necessarily means you're related.
Well, They're sharp.
Edward Sharpe.
Oh my God, that's a journey.
That's good.
It wasn't really because you didn't get
it. All right, we're talking about home.
Home.
Coming home.
Coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home.
Let the rain wash away all. Are we done?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
You have to shorten that. Home is really, I was kind of thinking like, to explore the difference between house and home.
Yeah. The difference between house and home. What does it mean when you say home is where the heart is? All of these questions, and like I feel like religiously going to heaven is sort of like going home.
Going home ceremony.
Yeah. So where, I mean, there's just so many directions we can
There
go.
is.
Where would you like to start?
Well, I was a number one, as sometimes my name is it alludes to the topic. And so homelessness, we talked about it, and then we said you can't say homelessness, you have to say unhoused. So, I like to check up on my PC terms.
Yeah.
I said, can you say homeless or not? Because I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
This is going to be outdated soon, I guess, because it's from May 21st of last year. But, okay, so you can use the word homeless.
Okay.
Because they are homeless. But it is dehumanizing to call them the homeless.
Oh.
So you can say homeless people, or you can say people without housing, but they don't want you to call them the homeless.
Yeah. And also, yeah, I think that's like when someone, I think it was Avalon was on the podcast where she's like, if you start saying unhoused people.
Right.
And I was like, that's a bit extreme, but I did hear an argument before that, which was that person suffers with homelessness, or like that person is going through homelessness. Because when you are called a homeless person, it's
right.
making that about you. Like,
right.
It's like if anything, like I think there's wording where you're not like supposed to define someone by that blind person,
right?
That person who is blind,
right?
Like it's just it's linguistics, but it's not to categorize people based on
right,
like.
And
their situation.
Interestingly, about my guy who was
my guy,
a number one, he enjoyed being without home.
Yeah, a lot of those travelers do.
Yeah, but I think some of his books, he warned people against it, willing, for you to choose to do it because it can be very hard. So I guess he didn't want to romanticize it too much.
He didn't want to romanticize it,
but I'm sure that's the. What's this word, like minority of people who actually enjoy it. Obviously it's not enjoyable to be unhoused or unhomed, but that's that was just something. So you can actually talk about home.
So what is a home? Why do we love the idea of a home? There's a million houses. You don't get excited to see each one, but you get excited to see your home, and that is because it's your place. It's your comfort. You feel like you belong. You feel safe. Is not a home a house made for security? And so is not your house, your home, that secure feeling? And so, there's a reason you feel different when you go to an Airbnb versus when you're at your house. And
right.
What is it come down to? I would say comfort.
Okay.
And not in a physical sense. You can go to very comfy Airbnbs, but that mental comfort where you feel safe and protected,
right,
and sound, and you're with sometimes your loved ones, sometimes not. You can enjoy maybe your place. Maybe for travelers, it's like part of that. It's where the heart is. It's like where I love is to be traveling, and that's where I feel comfortable. I feel trapped,
right,
in this house. That's not a home.
There's some holes in this house.
But one thing I was thinking about, which we'll have to, it's kind of a side tangent. But is there spiritual homelessness?
I think there is, Spencer. Because also we know that everybody doesn't live in a house. So of course it's never going to be an equal, because when we say house, we mean apartment, tent, igloo, you
name it.
Yurt. I think that's a thing, isn't it? I think you're right. Where did I see it? Oh, Proverbs 3:3.
3:3.
Proverbs 3.
I wish it was 3:2:3 because that's today.
3:3.
3
it
to
says
3.
The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but He blesses the home of the righteous. And I was interested that the two words were used in the same exact line, and so therefore, I thought to myself, is it kind of or at least am I getting this from this that you can't be wicked, right? Like maybe you're
Yeah.
doing wicked things in your abode, but you can, your spiritual home, usually you want them to go together, right? You want your house and home
to be a home.
your house and home to be righteous.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you said, can you have a spiritual home? Because I think you can.
I think you can too. And could it be church? Like a community, not even church. Church is too narrow of a term. A religious community. You know, because is that not in these walls? Like, there's a difference of your living and then your house. And what's the difference is like you're at your home base,
right?
And so is that like a church or like branches of churches? And because there's a lot of people, we talked about atheists and agnostics, and with the difference being, some people are, I don't know. Are they more of this is the agnostic like this wanderer type?
Spiritual hobo.
The spiritual, yeah. No, so it's spiritual bum.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm kind of a spiritual hobo a little bit. I like to bounce around, work from one church to another.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I want to be a spiritual version of A1 steak sauce.
Well, what was the tramp? What did I say the tramp did? The hobo worked and the tramp didn't. So you're more of a tramp, which is so funny.
What?
Because Charlie Chaplin was the tramp.
Oh, you saying I don't work?
No, I was just joking.
What am I doing right now? I'm working.
Oh, someone is defensive.
Well, yeah, but you call me a spiritual tramp.
I was trying to connect. Not a spiritual tramp.
That's never going to feel good.
I was trying to connect you to Charlie Chaplin because you love him.
His middle name is Spencer. I'll give you that much. But yeah, so is there a sense of like, because sometimes people don't feel like they belong. Like they'll say, I'm a Christian, but I'm my own kind of Christian. I don't want to believe in that. I don't want to believe in that.
I see where you're going with
this. And is that like sort of like they're kind of haven't found, like, oh, I've been in this house, I've been in that house, but I never felt like any of those places were home.
I see exactly what
that's
you're
where
saying.
I'm kind of getting at.
You hear people say, I haven't found my people.
Yeah.
But you're saying more of like a community of those people would be your spiritual home.
And that's kind of like my thing, how it's always been of like, with different branches of Christianity that are like, well, we're right. It's like, why can't we all be living on the same street? And it's like, not everyone, like the neighbors next door, that's a house. It's not a home to me.
Right.
Are we still neighbors? Are we still on the same street? Do we still live in the same area?
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, I just like, and if I'm in this house and I don't feel comfortable, if I'm in a church and I don't feel comfortable, does it mean I want to be homeless? No. Or does it mean that this house is not a home?
That's really good.
Yeah, thank you.
This house is not your home.
This house is not my home. This is an Airbnb.
That's really true.
Mm-hmm.
That's really true, because when you are at someone else's house and you're like, they do stuff different, or they
do stuff there. They go to bed at 8. Is that wrong? No, but that's how I live my life.
Yeah, that's really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know. Welcome home. Home sweet home.
Home sweet home.
Home of the brave.
And earlier you were talking about the Proverbs 3:33, and is a part of it is like a home based around love, right? Like,
yeah,
home is where the heart is, right?
Yeah,
that's what that comes from. It's like where, like, when you're away from home, it's like, where's home for you?
Right.
You're not saying where are you living now. It's where does your heart belong?
No, it's true, because they do say home away from home.
Yeah.
Right. And that wouldn't be, they didn't replicate your house.
Yes.
And everything in it, but it's that feeling you're getting that feeling somewhere else besides that address that's on your driver's license.
Yes. And so back to Proverbs 3:33.
Okay.
The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but blesses the home of the righteous. If God is love, right, and that's the difference of house and home, there is no love in the house of the wicked, because they don't have God, they don't have love.
They wouldn't be doing wicked things.
In that home of the righteous, that's what turns the house into a home. Is that there's love in the home.
You're right.
There's some love in this house. There's some love in this house.
And it also is saying that you can be in a wicked house, because some people can't get out, but you are still blessed because your home is within you. So it can't be affected, if you've been kidnapped or something.
Well, then I think there's a part of that as well, just in general, of like when people say like my body is a temple.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that saying? It's like we're all in kind of our own house and home, and that goes back to loving yourself, right? Like the same way I'm not going to go mending fence poles at every house on the street. Something about a home that you want to take care of.
Yeah.
You gotta. But all right, now let's before we end, let's talk about heaven being home.
Okay.
Come home.
Come home.
To me. I feel like there's Bible verses that say that, but I just can't. I can't think of any.
There's so many.
Yeah.
That we would have run out of printer ink.
You could have just printed one.
No, there's so many. Do I know them off the top of my hats?
Yeah.
No, I don't. So what was your question?
You so sometimes heaven will be referred to as going home.
Right. Because like you said, when you go away from home, you have your home, you're so comfortable there. You love when you have a day off or after work or whatever. You have to go out there. You have to do things. You have responsibilities. You have to go away from home. But you always want to go home and have that feeling, that take off your shoes and like, I'm home. So on earth, you could have the best life on earth, just like you could have the best vacation, but you're like, I can't wait to go home. Like, cause even like I said, 2-week vacation, but even a vacation, how wonderful it is. If it does go on too long, you're like, I'm
ready to go home.
I'm ready to go home. So it's the ultimate feeling of returning to your most relaxed place.
The place of just nothing but love.
Right.
Sometimes earth is kind of a house.
Right.
And that is not why we're here, to learn and to grow and to do all the things, like you said, like work. Like, are we not on earth to work on ourselves?
Right,
and that?
right.
And so then what do you do after work? You go home.
Yeah.
And you just, dinner's on the stove and the kids are in bed.
I thought you would have talked about this one because you're a sports
home court advantage.
You're a sports expert.
Home court advantage.
What is a home court advantage?
Home court advantage is when the home team.
Is it psychological or is it scientifical?
It's I'm going to say scientifical, but psychological too. So there's a couple of things. One, just the comfort of not traveling and being in a facility that you're always in is like, what car do you drive better, yours or someone else's?
Right.
You know, and even though they're the exact same cars, or not the exact same, like even though cars are the same,
cars are cars, yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a little different. It just makes your mind work that much more. And then the other thing is crowd noise. And so when you get crowds that are just yelling at you, it's easy to get distracted. Some like Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, apparently one of the loudest crowds. Every team hates to come to Philadelphia because the fans are so rambunctious.
But why is it not affecting the home team? They only get loud when the opposition is
it's
playing?
more like on like a third down in football. Big third down. You'll even see like the home team players like get loud, and then like, but they won't do the same.
I've watched sports passively over the years, and all the time, you know, the crowds are cheering, shouting shouting advice to these players, hollering at refs and da-da-da. And all this time, I thought that the players were successfully blocking out the noise. But when COVID happened, they were like, we can't play without it. We can't play without an audience. Yeah. And they had fake pictures in the seats, and and I thought, I'm shocked. I thought they were, you know.
No, you feed into the energy. Like when it's like all eyes are on you, it's like it's time to perform. When it's not, it just feels like you're at practice.
Wow.
You know? That's our show, guys. Go out, pet your puppy. Don't be an atheist. No, go out and go find your home, whether that be within yourself, whether that be you got lost and you can't find your house, or whether that be your spiritual home. You know, you might be in a spiritual house right now, and you just got to find the right spiritual home.
Oh.
That's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow for Walkthrough Thursday. Till then, see ya.